Very good afternoon to all of you. So this live session is all about admission 2021, and in this admission 2021 live session, I will be mainly discussing about the admission process of admission 2021, and I'm sure you all must be having some doubts and seeking some clarification on the various courses offered by BIMTech. What is the selection criteria? What are the weightages? What are the important dates? And there might be doubts related to the eligibility criteria, cutoffs and all. So let me first start with what are the various courses which BIMTech offers. So mainly BIMTech is offering 4 PGDM courses. All courses are AICTE approved. All are having equivalence from Association of Indian Universities, which is all PGDM courses are equivalent to MBA programs, and all are NBA accredited, and we have got NAC accreditation, graded autonomy. So these 4 courses are residential program, 2-year full-time courses. So PGDM program has got 240 seats and 60 seat each in PGDM International Business, PGDM Retail Management, and PGDM Insurance Business Management. So that is all about the courses and affiliation and number of seats in each courses. Now talking about what is the basic eligibility criteria which is required to apply at BIMTech and get shortlisted for the interview process and the final selection. So for all the programs, minimum of 50% graduation is required. So when I say minimum of 50% of graduation required, it means that those who have completed their graduation before the admission year, that is, we are going to have admission in 2021. So those who have completed graduation before 2021, that is in year 2020, they should have completed their graduation. Right. So they should have completed their graduation, and those who are going to appear in 2021, their final year of graduation, they should like those who have completed graduation, they should have aggregate of 50% in graduation if they have completed graduation before the admission year, that is 2021. And those who are going to appear in the final year of admission in 2021, they can apply to us. Their aggregate would be considered only once their final results are going to be declared. So even if you have got less than 50%, you can still apply, expecting that your final aggregate is going to be above 50%, and this result need to be submitted in the admission year, that is in 2021, October 30th, 2021. So by that time, if you complete your graduation and you get your results, it should be more than 50%. Then you will be continuing with the course. Otherwise, as per AICTE norms, anybody who has got less than 50%, they will not be allowed to continue their postgraduate program. So that is the basic eligibility criteria. Now, what are the bases on which we are going to shortlist candidates for the interview process or the selection process? So we consider 5 national level exams. These are CAT, XAT, CMAT, MAT, and CAT, XAT, CMAT, MAT. So these exams are going to be, and GMAT also. So these exams are going to be the basic criteria for getting shortlisted. For PGDM program, we consider only CAT, XAT and GMAT exam. And for international business also, CAT, XAT and GMAT exam, but at different cutoff percentile. Now, the cutoff is not pre-decided. So any candidate who is applying to BIMTech with these eligibility criteria, they are eligible to be shortlisted provided they qualify for the basic or minimum cutoff percentile. Now, these cutoff would be decided only after the closing of application. But if we see the historical data or the past experience, we have been shortlisting candidate for PGDM program through CAT, ZAT or GMAT if they have got minimum of 70 percentile, and that is the trend for past few years. But we have seen that those who have finally qualified to join the batch, the course, the candidate who has got the minimum CAT, ZAT or GMAT percentile was 72.5. So at 70 percentile, one can expect to be shortlisted for the interview process. Rest would depend upon the final merit, their performance in the interview, or the VAT, or maybe extempore, which we are going to take in the online process. And there are other weightages which I will be talking about. So for PGDM, CAT, ZAT, GMAT, getting shortlisted at 70 percentile, and for international business program, the same eligibility criteria with slightly lower percentile, that is minimum of 65 percentile. And last year the candidate who got admitted was having 67.5 percentile. So that was for PGDM and PGDM IB program. And for PGDM IB and retail program, the minimum percentile required in CAT, ZAT or GMAT is 60 percentile, and through MAT and CMAT it is minimum 70 percentile. So MAT and CMAT, one can apply for retail and insurance program. In fact, we have started considering CMAT scores for PGDM program. So for getting shortlisted through CMAT eligibility, minimum percentile required or the minimum cutoff is 95 percentile in PGDM program, and international business it is 90 percentile. So PGDM one can apply through CAT, ZAT, GMAT 70 percentile and 95 percentile in CMAT, and IB program CAT, ZAT, GMAT 65 percentile and 90 percentile in CMAT, and for retail and insurance program CAT, ZAT, GMAT minimum 60 percentile and CMAT and MAT 70 percentile. So that is the shortlisting criteria and the expected cutoff required for getting shortlisted for the interview process. Now, while you fill the application form, since we have got only one unified single application form to apply for one program or more than one program, and in the application form you can give your priority preference 1, 2, 3, 4. Accordingly, you will be shortlisted for the interview process and the offers would be made if you are qualifying the merit. So in one application form, you can apply for minimum one program and maximum 4 program. If you don't get qualified for the first preference, your second choice would be considered, the preference would be considered, and subsequently third and fourth, depending upon your meeting the eligibility and finally finding your place in the merit list. So that is how one single application, and you can apply for multiple programs depending upon your eligibility criteria, the cutoffs and your final performance and your position in the merit. You will be getting offer for the for joining the course. So that was all about the courses, eligibility criteria, number of seats, and if I talk about the tuition fee, since we have all 4 programs, residential program, full-time residential program, unfortunately because of the pandemic, this year we have not started with the residential program, but we are expecting that students are going to be here. The second and first year students are going to be joining us soon, maybe by 4th of January. Some of the second year students are already there on campus. If the situation remain normal and we are following all the government advisories and guidelines, and we are compliance with the COVID guidelines also to start course with social distancing and flipped classroom or blended mode classroom. So those all arrangements are already there in place. and we expect that the next year is going to be full-time residential program if we overcome this unforeseen situation. Okay, so I was talking about what is the tuition fee for different programs. So PGDM program, 2-year full-time program, the tuition fee is 12 lakh rupees. International business program also 12 lakh rupees. And for retail management and insurance business management, it is 9 lakh for 2-year residential program fees. And this is only the tuition fee. Besides this, there are boarding and lodging expenditures, which comes to around 3,48,000 for 2 years. So besides this, there are other refundable security deposits, 20,000 for the library security and 20,000 for general security, which is refundable. And there is a medical insurance charges, 3,500 per year. So this is the overall cost which would be required for the course and boarding and lodging expenditures. Okay, now as I told you, we have 4 programs, and one can apply under the general category, which we call merit category. Besides this, one can also apply under different categories like NRI sponsored or corporate sponsored, and we have additional 27 seats in PGDM program, which is over and above 240 seats. So PGDM program has got 240 seats and 60 seats each in IB program, retail program, and insurance business management program. So total intake is 420. Over and above these 420 seats, we have got 27 seats in PGDM program under supernumerary category. I will be talking about supernumerary category and what is the eligibility and how one can apply under this category. So the general category eligibility I have already talked about. We consider 5 national level exams: CAT, JAT, GMAT, CMAT, and MAT. There are different cutoff and there are different eligibility criteria for different programs, which I have already spoken about. Now one can apply under general category or merit category with these eligibility criteria, having given any one of these national level exams, meeting the eligibility criteria. But somebody who could not apply for CAT or ZAT, or who could not attend or they don't want to give these national level exams, they can also apply under sponsored category. So while filling the application form, you have to select whether you want to apply under the general category or sponsored category. And within a sponsored category, there is a subcategory, or one of the category of a sponsored category is corporate sponsored and NRI sponsored. Now, for NRI and corporate sponsored, there is no requirement of the national level exams. One can apply if they have graduation 50%, if they have completed by 2020. But if somebody who is going to appear in the final year exam in year 2021, they can also apply, provided their results are going to be declared by 30th October 2021 with minimum of 50% marks in graduation overall percentage. So they can also get eligible for application into this sponsored category. These 5 national level exams are not required. Rest of the selection process, the interview process, they have got separate merit would be prepared. But the number of seats in these programs are 10% of the total seats. So for PGDM program, if 240 intake is there, so 24 seats are going to be reserved for candidate applying under sponsored category, and 6 each in IB program, retail program, and insurance program. So that is how sponsored category is there. So candidate, those who are applying under supernumerary category, there is a specific requirement that these seats are mainly to be filled through candidate, those who are people of Indian origin or overseas citizens of India, or if somebody's parents are working in Gulf country, even students or the foreign students, those who are from the SAARC nations. So there are 27 seats which is to be filled through supernumerary category, and there is no requirement of national level exam there. Rest of the selection process, eligibility criteria remain same, and we fill only 27 seats through this particular category. So this was all about the program, eligibility, and the number of seats and the fee. The fee for supernumerary category is also same as the general category because it is only for PGDM program. The fee is 12 lakh rupees. But sponsored category, those who apply under sponsored category for PGDM and PGDM IB program, as compared to the general category fee of 12 lakh rupees, the fee is 17 lakh rupees. And for retail and insurance program, as compared to the general category fee, that is the tuition fee for 2 years, from 9 lakh rupees, it is 15 lakh rupees. So that is the only difference. Rest of the selection process is same. Only the national level exam is not required, and it has got separate merit. So candidate applying under these categories can also get admission at BIMTech. Now, since the eligibility criteria, so candidate, those who have applied for BIMTech till now, since yesterday only, most of you might have given the CAT exam, and the result is expected to be declared, and usually it is declared by 10th of January every year, or maybe second week of January every year. And ZAT exam is going to be conducted in the month of January, and then results are going to be declared by end of January. CMAT is also going to be there on 3rd of January, and hopefully the results would be declared by end of January or max by Feb 2021. So candidate, those who are applying now, how they are going to be shortlisted for the interview process, and we call this first round of selection process as phase 1, or we also call it as early round or profile based round, because till the time you are going to go through the selection process, none of the results are declared. Only those who have appeared in MAT exam and applied through MAT for retail and insurance program, because MAT is not considered for PGDM program and PGDM international business program. Their scores are available in their application form. So the first round, which we are planning to conduct in the month of December, once we close the application, the last date of closing application is 2nd of December. And we are planning to conduct the first round of interview process from 14th of December onward. And this is going to be the online process because we understand that in this current situation, it is difficult for a student to travel, even for our faculty to travel and conduct the interview face to face. So this round is going to be there on online platform, which is Zoom. And accordingly, we are going to inform student the date and the time, the schedule for the interview process. Now, what is the criteria? Because the CAT results or ZAT results or different eligibility exams which are required to be by the candidate, and we shortlist candidate on the basis of those cutoffs. So since these results are not available and students are giving national level exams, so how we are going to shortlist candidate? So this phase 1, which is also known as early round or profile based round, we are going to shortlist candidate on the basis of their profile. Now, when we say profile, it is basically combination of academic profile and some of the students, those who have applied with work experience. And majorly students having throughout first class, that is 10th, 12th or graduation, if completed, or if not completed, might have completed till second year, and they are supposed to put marks till the last exam given. If it is engineering, till the last semester given. So that aggregate is going to be considered for the shortlisting process. So one of the criteria for shortlisting in profile based round is 10th, 12th or graduation. So all three throughout first class. that is greater than equal to 60% in 10th, 12th and graduation. Or if somebody is not having greater than 60%, greater than or equal to 60% in any of these three, but having in two, either 10th or 12th, or 10th or graduation, or 12th or graduation with 10th, and having some work experience. So minimum of 6 months of work experience as of now, as of today, because finally the candidate would be joining as a student in 2021, that is tentatively by June 2021, that is the usual commencement day when we start our session. So by that time they would be completing at least 1 year of job. So the shortlisting would be done either 10th, 12th graduation all throughout first class greater than equal to 60, or any of the two academic qualifications, either 10th or 12th, or any two, 10th with graduation or 12th with graduation, greater than equal to 60, and work experience, quality work experience with minimum 6 months. So that is going to be the shortlisting criteria for the phase 1 round of interview process, which we are scheduling from 14th of December. And the results are not going to be declared immediately, but once your CAT results are declared by second week of January, or the XAT results are declared, or if you are there with your MAT scores, you will be given window to update your scores. And once these scores, and we will be sending you SMS and emailers. So once we get all the results updated by the candidate, those who have appeared for the interview process, we will be preparing the merit list. And then final offers would be given somewhere in the month of Feb, by second week of Feb. Now, what is the advantage of candidate, those who apply in this early round or phase 1? One, that is they get exposure for the interview process to be conducted by any B school, and they also get the first movers advantage. Like usually it happens that every candidate is applying to at least 4 to 5 B schools as per their choices. And then once the CAT results or XAT result, majorly most of the students are applying with CAT, and 90% of the students, those who have given CAT, they also give XAT or MAT or CMAT. So once these results are declared, you will start getting a lot of calls, getting shortlisting from other B schools. And if there is a clash in dates, you might miss the chance to appear for the interview process. Depending upon your preferences, you might be appearing at one institute and then trying to get some alternate date, or maybe missing the chance to appear for the interview process. So one advantage is that before you could get any interview process from the call from any other B school, you are getting a chance to appear for the interview process. You get the experience of how PI or the selection process is happening. So and you also ensure that at least you have gone through the process of one of the institute of your choice, and then you keep on trying with the second, third or fourth depending upon your requirement. And once the CAT results or XAT results are declared, if you are fortunate, you will be getting the offer. So you are at least securing one of the seat in one of the top 10 B schools like us, and then later on finally deciding upon which B schools to join. So that is the whole idea behind having this early round or profile based round, right? And how the selection is going to take place finally. So as I told you, the eligibility criteria for getting shortlisted for interview is on the basis of the cutoffs, but then the final merit is going to be prepared on various parameters. These parameters are, since we used to conduct PI and VAT, so VAT was writing ability test, which used to take place face to face on campus. Now since we are going to conduct this selection process or this whole process online, so it is difficult to ensure that whatever you are submitting, the evaluation process is not that easy for evaluating VAT and conducting VAT online. So in place of VAT, till the time we are conducting online process, we will be having combination of personal interview and extempore. So extempore, we would be giving some current affair topic or some abstract topic to speak on for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and the evaluation will be done on that. And personal interview would be, as most of you might be going through the coaching, or you might be preparing for the personal interview. So that is the general process. But we have got slightly different personal interview process, where we are using caselets. So these are situational cases, mini caselets, and these are used to judge your different competencies. And these competencies, if broadly I talk about, they are mainly open-mindedness, your leadership skills, communication skills, or your thought process. Also, all those things are going to be judged through these caselets. So that was just brief about the personal interview. Now, what are the weightages for these parameters? That is your merit, which is going to be prepared out of 100. How that merit is going to be prepared, what are the various weightages. Now, weightages given for the personal interview is 25%. I'm talking about the general category. I will be giving you brief about the sponsored category weightages also, because there is no CAT, ZAT or national level exam which is considered for preparation of merit in sponsored category. But for general category or candidate applying under supernumerary, the weightages for selection or the final preparation of merit is going to be 25% for personal interview, extempore or VAT is going to be 10, and then your 10th, 12th academic qualification, 10th, 12th graduation, weightage is going to be 10, and candidate with work experience, minimum of the shortlisting would be done at 6 month minimum experience, but the final merit is going to be prepared, and this particular weightage of 10 for work experience would be given to only candidate who has got work experience till the time we close the application, say by March, and if they have completed 12 months in work experience, 12 month of work experience, and maximum of 30 month. Above that also the weightage is given, but this weightage of 10 marks, this 10 full marks would be given to candidate having work experience of 24 to 30 month, and those between 12 to 18 months would be getting a weightage of 6, and between 18 to 24 months would be getting a weightage of 7, and above 30 they would be getting weightage of 10 marks. But any candidate who has got work experience more than 30 months, that is 2.5 years, they would be getting weightage of 8 marks. So that is a differential weightage which we give for the work experience, but we do consider only the quality work experience. So when I say quality work experience, it means that you should have worked at supervisory level in any private limited company or listed company, or maybe these days startups. But then we would be requiring the proof that you were at a minimum salary of this. So all those details are given on our website. You can go through those details. But we do consider, and that is to encourage a good number of students coming with work experience and coming with work experience to share in a class which is going to be a mix of freshers and experienced students. So there is going to be a good learning for freshers as well as for the experienced students. So the final merit, the PI has got weightage of 25, VAT or extempore 10, throughout for academic qualification 10, 12th graduation is 10, and then for this thing work experience, it is again 10. And then to encourage good number of female candidates joining the course. So usually the number of female candidates, those who apply at BIMTech, looking at the past at the application stage, we do have 40 to 45% of the female candidates, those who apply, and then in the same ratio they are shortlisted. And in fact, there are good number of students, those who are there in the merit. And finally, those who join, or if we see the class composition, it is around 40% of the female candidate in the batch. So for encouraging female candidate to apply and to finally join institute, there is an additional weightage which is given, that is 3% in the final merit of 100. And to have good mix of student coming from different part of the country, in fact across the globe, but to have a student coming from southern territories or northeast, we are giving weightage of 3%. So southern territories means candidate coming from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Puducherry, or Karnataka, or Seven Sisters Northeast states, or Jammu and Kashmir or Ladakh. So they would be getting additional weightage of 3%. Now, to have a good mix of student coming from different strata of the social life, there is also a weightage of 2% given to candidate coming from minority class, or SC, ST, OBC, or candidate coming from economically and socially challenged class. So that is the weightage which is given to candidate. And this weightage I spoke about candidate applying under general category or merit category or supernumerary category. Now, candidate, those who are applying under sponsored category, NRI or corporate sponsored, since they don't require to have national level exam scores, so this 35% which is going to be considered for preparation of merit in general category is passed on for other parameters. So their personal interview will become 35% weightage, 20% for write-up or extempore. The 35% weightage is not there for which is there in the general category. 20% is for past academic record, 10th-12th graduation. In case of general, it is instead of 20, it is 10. So all these details are given on our website. You can go through that. So these are about the selection criteria, the shortlisting criteria, and the selection criteria. Now, apart from this, there are different scholarships which BIMTech offers to candidate, those who have score above 85 percentile, and this is across all programs. So any candidate who apply with 85 percentile and above and joins the course, so once the course commences, they should be there in the batch, and they will be getting a waivership of 2 lakh rupees. This is Basant Kumar Birla Admission Merit Scholarship. So 2 lakh rupees scholarship would be given. So this 2 lakh is going to be waived off from their tuition fee in different installments. So once they join the institute, and over last few years, every year at least minimum of 15 students are getting this scholarship. And last year there have been students, 3 to 4 students above 90 percentile in CAT or ZAT, and around 13 to 15 students every year are there who have got 85 percentile plus. Okay. Now coming to the admission process, which is going to be there for candidate, those who are applying under sponsored category. So these candidates required to fulfill certain documental requirements. Now these documental requirement is since they don't need to have national level exam scores, candidate, those who are applying under a sponsored category, they should get the sponsorship letter from a company which is having a turnover of 50 crore. So audited balance sheet copy would be required for the previous year, showing that the company is limited, private limited or limited company with turnover of 50 crore rupees. So that is one requirement for candidate applying under his corporate sponsored category. And there is a performa which is uploaded on our website, which is a format which need to be filled by the company which is sponsoring the candidate, with the particular about the sponsorer and the candidate who is going to be sponsored through that company. And those who are applying under NRI sponsored category, they can get sponsorship letter from any of the NRI who is their family friend or relatives. So the same performa is available on our website. Besides this, they also have to get the notary attested visa copy of the sponsorer. And there is an additional requirement that the annual income of the person or the NRI who is sponsoring the candidate, they should prove that their annual income is 50,000 US dollar or equivalent. So these are the three documents required for NRI sponsored category. And for corporate sponsored category, there are two documents. One is the audited balance sheet copy and the sponsorship letter. The performa is available on the website. And for supernumerary category, there is again similar requirement that the candidate need to have documental evidence that he or she is overseas citizen of India or people of Indian origin. So their visa copy of their parents or the candidate himself or herself would be required. So that was all about the selection process. And that if I talk about the timeline is going to be as we close our application for the phase 1 on 2nd December. The interview process would be there on 14th of December onward, which will go for at least a week or 10 days. Now, once the CAT, ZAT or different eligibility exam results are declared, you will be given a window to update your scores. Once these scores are updated on till the given cutoff date, we will be preparing the merit, and this merit would be declared by first week of Feb. By second week of Feb, you will be getting the offer letters. And we usually give 3 weeks time for making the payment of the first installment. So there is an online system through which you can make payment, either NEFT or RTGS, and secure your seat. And then the commencement of the program would finally, if everything goes normal, you will be informed about the commencement of the session from 15th of June. So that is the normal cycle which we conduct every year. Now, there have been certain questions coming up from some of the students, and one of the question which Ankit has posted earlier, and they have interacted with admission team here. He is asking, I do not have work experience. Can I apply for profile based round? So as I told you, anybody who has got throughout first class, okay, they can expect to be shortlisted for the interview process. And even if they don't have throughout first class 10th 12th graduation, any one of the two 60% and minimum work experience at the time of application or till the time the first round phase 1 interview are taking place, they should have minimum of 6 months of experience, so they can expect to be shortlisted for the interview process. Then there is another candidate, Tanu. She is asking, will we have PI VAT process as it happens every year, or is there any chance in it also? Will it be online this time? So as I told you, as of now, since we are following all the advisories, government rules and regulations, and AICT is our regulator, we are taking care of all the precautions which government, the guideline which government has laid down. And the phase 1 is going to be online, and it is going to be on Zoom. Later on, maybe in the month of Feb or March, if we have applications for the second round, then we will be conducting this round over face-to-face mode. So Ritika is asking, by when can I expect the result of PI round? Will there be any other round after it, or directly result would be declared? So Ritika, phase 1 interview process is going to be from 14th of December onward. Once the CAT, ZAT or different eligibility exam results are declared, we will be opening the window to update your scores. Once these scores are updated by all the candidates, those who appeared in the interview process, the final merit is going to be prepared, and it would be tentatively declared by first week of or by 10th of Feb. That is what usually we do. And if by any chance the candidate has missed to appear in the interview process, or they are not shortlisted through the eligibility exam which they have indicated, then they can change their preferences, they can change the eligibility, they can write to us, and we will update their eligibility or the program preferences, and in the subsequent round we can send the call to these candidates to appear for the interview process. And this round is usually going to take place in the month of Feb. Then Kshitij is asking, I am expecting around 72 to 75 percentile in CAT. What all courses I am eligible for? Can that be changed at later stage? So candidate, those who are expecting 72 to 75 percentile as of now, since you have just gone through the CAT exam and you have applied for the phase 1, the interview is going to be taking place if you are meeting the basic eligibility, that is the profile based shortlisting criteria. Now, if you are expecting 70 to 75 percentile, you are eligible for all the 4 programs, right? You are eligible for all the 4 programs. But by chance, unfortunately, if you are not able to score as per your expectations, and if your percentile is, so I'm just taking example, if somebody who has given PGDM as first preference and PGDM IB has second preference, and by chance, unfortunately, he or she scores 63 percentile. Now, this candidate who has given first preference for PGDM and second preference for PGDM IB, the third and the fourth preference was not mentioned, right? Now, accordingly, in our eligibility criteria for retail and insurance program, we do consider candidate with 60 percentile and above in any of these CAT, ZAT or GMAT, any one of these 3 with 60 plus percentile. And if you have got MAT score of 70 plus or CMAT score of 70 plus, then also you are eligible. So in a specific scenario where candidate has mentioned only PGDM as first preference and IB has second preference, and unfortunately he or she has scored 63 percentile, and they have not mentioned the second, third and the fourth preference where they are getting eligible for. So they can write to us any moment to change their preference, one as retail or insurance, whichever program they prefer to, then we can consider them to be shortlisted in the subsequent round of selection process. Then there is a question, one of the aspirant is asking, results of CAT, ZAT, etc. are not declared. How can I write percentile? So as of now, you need not to mention your percentile. You have to just mention your registration number if you have got CAT registration number or ZAT registration number, or MAT if you have registration number, or if your results are declared, those who have appeared in the September MAT or the May MAT. Not the May MAT is usually not considered. We consider only the September MAT, December MAT and Feb MAT. So if you have got the registration number for MAT, or if your result is declared, you can mention that. So as I told you, you will be getting communication alert from us that now, since the scores are declared, the results are declared, you can update your score till the given date. So once that is updated, we will be considering it for the merit preparation. Then there is another question which says no option to choose EWS, economically weaker section, under social category in the application form. So under the EWS option is basically a subcategory under the social category. So once you select the social category, within social category you will have four options: SC, ST, OBC, general. And once you select any of these subcategory, then you will get the option to select EWS. Now EWS is a optional whether you want to apply or not. And economically weaker section, the criteria is your family and annual income should be minimum 8 lakh rupees. Maximum 8 lakh rupees, not over and above that. So the total family income should not be more than 8 lakh rupees. So that is the candidate, those who apply under economically weaker section. Then there is a question which says, what is the cutoffs if we apply through CAT, ZAT, CMAT? So cutoff, as I already told you, PGDM and IB program, CAT, ZAT, GMAT. Minimum for PGDM programs 70 percentile. For IB it is 65 percentile. For retail and insurance program 60 percentile. For retail and insurance program CMAT or MAT score is 70 percentile. For IB program and PGDM program, MAT is not considered. We consider CMAT. For PGDM, CMAT minimum 95 percentile and IB program 90 percentile. Okay. So one of the student is asking, my 10th and 12th marks are 55% and 57% in graduation. My 10th and 12th marks are 55 and 57% and graduation 7 CGPA. Now this candidate is not eligible to be shortlisted for the profile based round, which is going to take place in December, that is 14th December onward, because one of the criteria is either you should be throughout first class greater than 60. Now this candidate is not throughout first class, not even any two are greater than 60. So either it should be 10th or 12th greater than 60, or graduation or 10th or graduation or 12th should be greater than 60. The candidate has got 7 CGPA in graduation only. Now if he or she has got work experience of minimum 6 months, they get eligible. But suppose there is a fresher candidate who does not have the work experience. Now this candidate will not be shortlisted for the phase 1. Now once your eligibility score, the national exam scores are declared, and if you are found suitable as per the eligibility criteria, which I have repeatedly said, there are different cutoffs required. So minimum graduation you have, or 10th and 12th you already have 55 to 57% in 10th and 12th. Based on your national level cutoffs, you become eligible for shortlisted for the interview process, right? Now getting shortlisted for interview process does not ensure that you would be getting the offer also, because the offer is purely on merit. And usually for filling say 240 seats or maybe 60 seats in each program, the trend which we have seen, the selection ratio is 1:10. So that is how the final selection is going to be. Then there is a candidate who is asking how to update my ZAT registration number in the form. So you can update your ZAT registration by sending email at admission@bimtech.ac.in. You send the email request with the subject line and the application number, with your application number in the subject line, and request for changing the ZAT registration number, or any thing which you want to communicate to us. Give your application reference number so that we can trace out your application and make or update your request in the application. But so far, once you have filled the application and made the payment, you will not be allowed to make any change in the application. This would be done from our end. You need to send a request mail to us. The mail can be sent at admission, ADMISSION @bimtech, BIMTECH.ac.in. Once we have the request, within 24 hours, it would be considered and updated in your application form. Okay, so there are some more questions which have come up from students, those who are attending this live session. Divyanshu is asking, sir, at 75 percentile in CAT and ZAT, is it possible to get in BIMTech? Okay, see Divyanshu, the final selection, as I told you, is not just on the basis of your good percentile, right? So having 75 or maybe 85 or 95 percentile does not ensure that, or does not assure you that you are going to secure a seat in any of the program, right? Even if you have got high percentile. So it is the final merit which will decide upon your position in the final merit. And as I told you, usually the selection is 1:10 ratio. And this will definitely ensure that if you have scored 75 percentile plus, you should be having good academic profile as well as your other credentials. That is usually reflected into your academic qualification, or if you have work experience, or if you do really well in interview process. So even sometime it so happened that candidate with 78 percentile is not selected, but somebody with say if the cutoff is going to be 70 percentile, but in the final merit, as I told you last year, it was 72.5, or somebody having 85 percentile in CAT could not do well in interview process or the extempore, or may not be having good academic credential, would be falling down in the merit list as compared to somebody who has got 78 percentile but having good academic, or they have done good in personal interview or in the other parameters of the merit. So it totally depends upon how you are actually performing in the interview, because the interview weightage is 25. The ZAT, extempore or the VAT weightage is 10, and there is a weightage for academic qualification, past academic record, or there are other parameters also. Somebody who is belonging to a specific region, usually the southern part or northeast. But majorly, if you have scored good in ZAT or CAT, the weightage is 35%. So that 35 is a good amount out of total merit of 100. And if you are fairly doing well in PI or VAT, you secure good marks in 10th, 12th graduation, you yourself can calculate your total score which you can expect. And then vis-a-vis other aspirants, it is very difficult, because the merit is changing at every 0.5% or each point, right? So it is going to be a neck-to-neck competition. But if you are doing fairly well in your academics and performing good in interview process, so having 75 percentile might give you chance to appear in the merit list, getting the offer. But somebody with high percentile may not be having chance, depending upon their academic credentials or performance in the interview process. Then Jyoti is asking, I want to know about the course International Business Management, and about the student exchange program, and what is the eligibility for applying in a student exchange program. Okay. So this course, International Business Program, is PGDM, postgraduate 2-year program, full-time program. The fee is 12 lakh rupees. The eligibility criteria is we consider CAT, ZAT, GMAT minimum of 65 percentile. One can apply with CMAT. Last year the cutoff for CMAT was 90 percentile. Rest of the selection criteria and the merit preparation weightages are same. Then you are asking about the student exchange program. though we are going to have one dedicated session for the student exchange program or the alliances which we have with the foreign universities. So these BIMTech has got around 64 active international partners, and there are students those who have been going to pursue at least 1 or 2 trimesters there on the basis of exchange program. So their student come to BIMTech, and we send our students. Only this year or this academic session only students could not travel, though they were there in the partner institution when the outbreak of pandemic took place, and then they were forced to come back in between. But usually every year around 20 to 25 students go for the exchange program, and the selection criteria is laid down by the partner universities. So they do have the stringent selection process. There are certain criterias related to academics. There are certain criterias related to your uh, preferences, and there is scholarship also available for exchange program. So if you are able to get that scholarship, then you get chance to travel to these partner institution for the exchange program or the dual degree program. So this usually happen in the month of you can say October, November. It used to happen, but this year it could not because of this pandemic. So we will have one dedicated session. As I told you, there is exchange happening, and this exchange program is for pursuing the trimester and getting a dual degree. Besides that, there are collaborative research program. There are student exchange program happening these days online, where collaborative research or student exchange or working on some joint project, collaborative project, those all things are taking place. Now let's see in year to come how things are going to change, and these alliances are going to work out. Then Aarti Mittal is asking, sir, I have put my first choice as IB and PGDM as second choice, but now I want to reverse. So you can do that, Aarti. You can change your first preference to PGDM and second to any other preference of your choice. In case of IB, you can write email to us at admission@bimtech.ac.in with your reference of application number. We would be making the changes. Subhranshu is asking, do companies follow students 10, 12th minimum marks criteria during campus visit? Yes, Subhranshu, companies do consider your complete academic profile for shortlisting you for any campus recruitment. And it is very strict criteria which they follow for shortlisting and the final selection, right? Sometime company come up with the requirement that the candidate should be throughout first class, or not even just 60%, 65% or 70%. So that is or the CGPA in your MBA or engineering or graduation should be minimum of 7.5 or 7. So they do come with these requirements, and based on that they shortlist and finally give offers. What if someone has poor marks in 12th but have 70% in 10th, and engineering graduate with 2-year corporate experience? So Subhranshu, as you are saying, or giving a scenario where you are saying that the 12th was not good, but 10th was 70%, and engineering background student with 2 years of corporate experience. So it is not the case with every company which is stating that the candidate should be throughout first class or 65 or CGPA of 7 points. So it depends company to company requirement. Sometime the work experience is going to be plus point for in your case or in somebody's case, as compared to fresher. Company might prefer you for a specific domain with your past experience. So it depends, but usually in 80% of the cases the criteria is predefined.
Then Abhinav Khandelwal is asking, sir, I have not mentioned the detail of my achievements. Only I have mentioned the category of my achievement. So, will it be considered? Yes, it will be considered, but there is no weightage for the achievement, but that reflects when you are giving interview. Sometime the interview panelists might ask you, and if you are able to give satisfactory answer, that might be a positive thing in your profile, and you get additional, you can say, you can score better as compared to your other competitors. So if you want to update your achievement, you can write email to us at admission@bimtech.ac.in. Then Zeal is asking, sir, please give some light about the GDPI. Okay, Zeal, we don't consider, we have done away with the GD almost 6-7 years back. We consider only personal interview and VAT in the selection process. Now, since the interviews are going to be online, managing VAT online would be slightly, you can say, cumbersome or challenging. Evaluating it also would be challenging. So in that case, we are going to have personal interview and extempore. Now, personal interview has got weightage of 25 and extempore has got weightage of 10 marks in overall merit parameters, which we are going to consider for merit preparation out of 100. Now, PI is basically, in a case of BIMTech, it is case-based, caselet-based. The situations or scenarios would be given to you. Now, since it is going to be online, earlier we used to share a caselet, which is a printed form of the caselet with the candidate. They need to read it, give it a thought, and then reply to that. Now, those caselets would be told to you by the panelist, or there are different competency parameters which are to be judged through these caselets, or panelist might be giving you certain situations. And through those situations or scenarios, they would be judging your leadership skill or out of box thinking or open mindedness or communication skills. So, so that is what PI is going to be all about. And you can visit different forums where these forums have spoke about the selection process of BIMTech. Even if you visit to our Facebook page or the website, you will come to know about the complete eligibility criteria and the selection criteria. Then Vinayak is asking, is we get fee loan? Do we get fee loan? Okay. So Vinayak, for tuition fee or even for the complete course fees, including your boarding and lodging expenditures, we have got tie-up with certain dedicated tie-up with certain banks which offers education loans at competitive rate, which is exclusively given for institute like BIMTech. And student do go for getting loan, education loan from these financial institutions. These are HDFC Credila, there is Union Bank of India, there is Axis Bank, there is Bank of Baroda, there is all national banks do consider BIMTech application if student or candidate they go for getting the education loan. So at competitive rate they are offering education loan. So most of the students, those who are coming at BIMTech, they do seek education loan from these financial institutions from their native place. Or nowadays everything is online, you can apply for education loan. There are a specific requirement, documental requirement, terms and condition laid down by these banks for offering education loan. For your information, we would also be sharing the details of the executives, those who are offering, those who are representatives of these banks with whom BIMTech has got tie-up, so that you can directly get in touch with these executives or managers. They can give you detailed information about the education loan which they offer to the candidate, those who get offer from BIMTech. So those details would be shared, and these details are also available on our website and the FAQ section. And on time to time basis, at different stages of the admission, we will be sharing these details with you. Then there is a candidate called Sanjay. Sir, I have 50-year-old. Okay, I think there is some mistake in the sentence. I am 50-year-old and I have applied for PGDM. What is my chance for getting selection? Okay, Sanjay ji, with your age of 50 year, though we don't have any letdown criteria that we will not be admitting a candidate with age above 45 years or 40 years or 35 years, but it would be definitely challenging for you to cope up with the class. Even if you are coping up with the class, then it would be very difficult for you to be getting placed or to be recruited by any company, right? So in this case, what I suggest is you can definitely get associated with BIMTech as a student and get enrolled into a course which is offered by BIMTech in association with Upgrad, that is PGDM online course. That is one option, and second option is you can also go for executive program, and we would be definitely sharing all the details with you about these two programs. But for 2-year residential full-time program, I think it would be slightly difficult for you to adjust with the class, and definitely we will not be encouraging it. But then for accommodating such request and getting senior students on board as a student, these two courses which is offered by institute, that is part-time PGDM program, the details are also available on our website. Definitely we will be sharing, somebody from the admission office will share details with you separately about the online PGDM and part-time PGDM program. Then Vatsal is asking, sir, if we can't clear the CAT eligibility but we have got 90 above in CMAT, so we will get preference or not? Okay, so Vatsal, you have not written the eligibility. 90 is if you have got 90 plus and less than 95, you become eligible through CMAT for IB program for getting shortlisted. But for PGDM program, minimum 95 plus is required, and for retail and insurance program, it is 70 plus percentile through CMAT score. So you definitely is going to get preference provided you fit into the eligibility requirement of any of the program with 90 percentile of your choice. It depends upon your choice also. If you have applied for retail insurance program, you will definitely get, even if you have got 70 percentile plus. But with your 90 plus percentile and less than 95, it would be IB program. Having 95 plus percentile in CMAT, you get a chance to shortlist for PGDM program. Arpit, I think I have repeatedly told about what are the various cutoffs for BIMTech. So you can refer to this video which is live recorded, and later on it would be available for your reference, and you will be getting a lot of other information related to the cutoffs through mailers also. So you can refer to that later on once I conclude this live discussion. Then may I apply directly in college because I am preparing for CMAT and I want IB specialization. So Megha, I don't understand. May I apply directly in college? So you can apply basically directly in college. Yeah, you can apply online because it's an online application form. So you can directly apply, and with your CMAT score, because the CMAT exam is going to take place in January first week, you can put your eligibility that you want to apply for IB program as preference 1, and through eligibility CMAT, if you are getting above 90 percentile, definitely you will be shortlisted for the interview process. Rest of the selection is going to be based on your performance in the interview and the final parameters for the merit list. Then Jyoti is asking, sir, what about the internship experience for 6 month or 8 month? Okay, so internship we will not be considering as the work experience. I think you are asking about whether we can consider internship as in lieu of work experience for getting shortlisted for the interview process or for getting the weightage of the work experience. So internship will not be considered for getting weightage for the work experience, even if it is 6 months or 8 months. One should have work experience in a private limited company at the supervisory level, or there is a specific criteria which is mentioned in the FAQ also, and you can visit our website, which says that it should be a private limited company or maybe startup. You should have worked at executive or manager supervisory level with minimum salary, and the minimum turnover of the company is also mentioned. But at the end, everything, if you are mentioning the work experience, at the end it will depend upon how you are performing in the interview, and you should compliance with all the documental proof that you have worked in such a company. So there are a requirement of either the offer letter or the pay slip or the work experience letter. So those all would be required if you are mentioning this, and you are able to answer questions when the interview is going to take place related to your work experience. And then finally, at the time of joining, all those documental proof would be required. Okay, so Divyanshu is again having a question. Sir, what about freshers? Does fresher has disadvantage? Okay, so as I told you, freshers will never have disadvantage, because if you go to any of the B school selection process, or if you see the total population of MBA aspirants, those who give CAT exam or ZAT exam, or for that matter CMAT or MAT or GMAT, 80% of the students are there with no work experience, right? So they do land up in top B schools, be it IIMs or be it top 20 B schools. So usually the composition which is there in any of the B school between the fresher and the work experience candidate. So in BIMTech, we have around 25 to 30% of the student coming with work experience every year, and that is the ratio most of the B schools have. So somewhere it would be 40%, 45%, or maybe in IIMs it would be 50 to 60%, depending upon their intake and the course preferences also. So freshers never will have disadvantage. They are equally having all the advantage. Once you join the institute, you all are going to be treated as same. And even sometime it is also preferred by corporates for the recruitment. They do look for candidate with work experience for specific domain or maybe for the specific job profile, but usually companies are coming up with the requirement where they don't state that the candidate should have work experience, because usually such requirements are as compared to fresher to work experience, the requirement is you can say 80-20. So 20% of the candidate with work experience would be required, or stated that they only want a candidate with work experience. Okay, then Anita Tiwari is asking, sir, what advantages are there for freshers or 0% 0 month of work experience? So as I told you, Anita Tiwari, see, this weightage of 10 marks out of the final merit which we prepare out of 100 will not be given to candidate with freshers. It is going to be there for work experience candidate. So definitely, while we prepare the merit, the candidate with the work experience will lose upon these 10 marks, right? So the advantage or disadvantage, we are not talking about advantage or disadvantage. So any B school which is going to give you an experience of class with a mix of a student coming from experience and fresher background. So if you are fortunate enough that even if you are not having work experience, but you are fortunate enough or you have got those competencies that you could make up in the merit and finally join a batch which has got 25 to 30% of the work experience candidate, right? So you will have those learning experience. So I'm not saying that it is disadvantageous to you, but somebody who has got those competencies, somebody who have got that caliber, which they can compete with the candidate who is coming with work experience also. So ultimately, you are going to study with somebody who is carrying some experience from a specific domain from the industry, and you coming as as fresher, right, are going to have different learning experience. So think of how you can get into the institute even if you don't have the work experience. That is more important. Then Shri Bhargava is asking, is CMAT 95 eligible for the regular PGDM? Yeah, we do consider CMAT with 95 plus for shortlisting candidates for PGDM general program. Then Muzammil, what are the various cutoffs? Muzammil, please revisit this live session, which would be available on the Facebook group. You will come to know what are the various eligibility. I initially started with what are the various cutoffs. Then Ashish is asking, sir, with CMAT dates still not announced, how can I fill percentile in first week of Feb? Okay, so Ashish, what you can do is the CMAT dates are still not announced, so you are not having the registration number and the results also. So you can just mention that you want to apply through CMAT as eligibility criteria, and then write email to us giving your application number that you have applied through CMAT, but you are not able to mention your registration number. We will update that with some dummy figure, or we will tell you what dummy number or figure which you can enter in place of the registration number or the percentile. So that would be considered, don't worry. Then Ashutosh Mahala is asking, if anyone gets shortlisted for early round with good profile score but failing to meet the eligibility cutoff of national entrance exam, so that candidate will directly be out of merit list, or still have chance to get into merit provided with a good interview round along with the work experience. Okay, so Ashutosh, just to clarify one thing, the final selection is basically combination of all the parameters. Now one should not be just coming up with just the work experience. Somebody coming up with good work experience is scoring 10 on 10 in work experience, 30 months of work experience, right? But not having good academic profile, could not perform well in PI. So when a B school, not only just BIMTech, any of the B school which is selecting candidate, or even if you talk about the CAT exam, so there is a different sectional cutoff which usually I am look for, that you should be good in quant, you should be good in DLRI, you should be good in other sections of the CAT exam. So it depends upon like how well you are performing in all the parameters of the selection, in PI or VAT or extempore, or having good experience. And there are certain advantages which candidate from the southern state or northeast or JNK would be having additional weightage, or somebody with the minority class, or somebody the female candidates. So the final merit will be a combination of, because we are trying to get the best out of the best and give you the best experience with the good profile in the class. So the profile is going to be based on the experience, freshers, regional diversity, gender diversity, social diversity, academic diversity, candidate coming with engineering background or commerce background. So that is the objective which we are going to fulfill, to give you the best experience. So it is not that somebody who has scored well in CAT or ZAT but could not perform well during their past academic record, or could not do well in interview, or somebody who is good in interview but they have done not so good in they could meet up the basic cutoff eligibility criteria but they could not make it to the merit, the interview was best. Okay, or somebody who has got 89 percentile in CAT but the interview was not good. So we are looking for the overall combination of the candidate who is fitting into or who is performing more than better than their peers. Okay, because the merit is going to the cutoff in the merit is going to be, the offers are going to be on the basis of every point. Somebody would be meeting up the merit with 0.1, or somebody would be losing in the merit with 0.1, or maybe in the waiting list. So that is the whole idea, that we are looking for candidate with overall you can say performance in all the parameters of the merit, be it interview or VAT or extempore or academic profile or work experience, or somebody coming from the region for which we are giving the weightage. So that whole is going to give you the best experience if you are joining the institute, right? So you will have a student coming from different region. There is going to be gender diversity, there is going to be regional diversity, there is going to be academic diversity, there is going to be experience which the WorkX student is carrying, but they are equally there because they have made it to the merit. So that is the whole idea. Then Divyanshu is again asking, sir, I have 83.6 percentile in 10th, 80.6 in 12th, and 59.16 in graduation. So definitely for the round one, you will be shortlisted based on the best of the two greater than 60%. So there is no issue. But during your placement time, if the company says that it has to be throughout first class, okay, it has to be throughout first class. So even if you have got 59.99, they may not be considering you. The system is not going to consider you until unless there are some emotional background consideration that, okay, let us consider this because it is just missing by 0.01%, right? So Ankit is asking, sir, I have got 98 percentile in September MAT. Am I eligible for a scholarship of 2 lakh? So Ankit, MAT we don't consider for offering a scholarship. The candidate, those who have got 85 percentile plus in any of the course they join, so 85 percentile plus in any course, but the eligibility exam which we consider for offering for considering scholarship, the admission merit scholarship is CAT, ZAT and GMAT. So MAT is not considered in that. Then Vinayak is asking, how about the placement cell? So you are asking about the placement cell, or how about the placements? So if I understand, usually students are interested to know about the placement scenario in any B school for taking any decision to join. That is how they calculate the ROI. So talking about the current batch, the placement is still going on. The batch which is going to pass out in 2021, that is batch of 2019-21. Around 120 students are already placed. Everything is going online as per the current scenario. There are some of the students, those who are there on campus, and we are hopeful that by the closing of their course, like 100% placements are going to be there. And since last year, the batch which passed out in 2020, that was batch 2018-20, the placement was almost 100%, 97%. And the average package for PGDM program was 8.27 lakh per annum. For IB, it was 8.18. For insurance business, it was 8.03. And for retail program, again, it was 8.04. Now, highest salary for PGDM program, the Indian salary against the average of 8.27, the highest CTC was 18 lakh, that was domestic, and foreign salary was 23 lakh. IB it was 13.22, domestic, and foreign 18 lakh. Insurance program, there was no foreign placement, but the highest salary was 10.25 against the average of 8.03. And for retail program, domestic CTC was 10.3 and highest foreign placement was 23 lakh. Average was 8.04. So we have got close to 100 plus companies coming on campus for recruitment. But since the pandemic is there, everything is taking place online. Okay, so there are few more questions which is there in pipeline. So Krishna is asking what is the MAT cutoffs. So MAT cutoff is 70 percentile. It is only for retail management and insurance business management program. Bala Subramanian is asking how is the placement trend. So I think Bala, if you were there listening to me, I have already given you the figures about the placement and the current scenario. Then Anamika is again asking CAT cutoff. So CAT cutoff for PGDM program is minimum 70 percentile, but 70 percentile does not ensure that you will secure admission. It is just the cutoff for getting shortlisted for the interview process. For PGDM, it is CAT required is 70, IB it is 65, retail and insurance program is 60. Then Bala is again asking, Bala Subramanian is again asking for people from Tamil Nadu, is it comfortable to stay and study in BIMTech? Yes. So Bala Subramanian, if I can share about the profile of the batch which is currently admitted or in the past also, we do get a good number of applications or student finally joining the batches across all 4 programs from the southern states. So that is, and in fact we have got student coming from around 27 states. So usually most of the population is from northern India, but altogether from southern state around 40 to 45 students are there. So when you are going to be there on campus, you can experience, and if you can visit our social media platforms, you can see whole lot of activities celebrating different regional festivals, especially from south or even from northeast or western part of the country. So that experience you will always have. It's going to be mini India experience at BIMTech. Then there is somebody who is asking when we will get to know when is our interview. So since for the phase 1 we have kept the last date of application as 2nd of December, we will be processing your application and you will be getting communication regarding the interview process maximum by 10th or 11th of December. The interview schedule is going to be 14th onward. It is going to be on the Zoom platform. So all the details regarding the how the process is going to be conducted, how you are going to get connect, what is the date and time slot, who is going to be your panelist at what time, what date, all those details and rules and regulation instructions are going to be there in the communication. Then Aditya Naran is asking what's the chance of freshers, non-engineers in campus placement. So Aditya, as I told you, in any of the B school, usually the number of students, those who are joining and they don't have any work experience is quite large. So usually candidate coming with work experience are max to max 40 to 45%. At BIMTech it is 25 to 30%. So candidate with work experience or freshers, they equally have equal opportunity that companies are shortlisting them, and if you are able to fulfill their requirement, academic requirement, or performing well in the selection process, then even sometimes freshers are having upper hand as compared to the work experience. But sometimes companies do come up with the requirement that they want specific work candidate with specific domain experience. So, but those requirements are few, and it depends. So I think we are done with all the questions. And if you have any more questions to ask, you can just put your question in the comment box. We would be replying to those. And what I suggest is you can visit to our social media platform pages on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or YouTube channel. When you visit to bimtech.ac.in, at the top you can get the option of connect with us. It has got whole list of links. When you click on that, you can join those pages and get the latest about the BIMTech. So all the activities, still a lot of activities are going online. All student interaction, all student engagement, even the classes, everything is happening online. So you can connect to these social media pages and get to know about the latest. And if you are part of this admission dedicated group, you will have all the update regarding admission 2021. You can directly write to us at the rate admission@bimtech.ac.in, or even if you are interacting with us on the social platform, please for getting the authentic, correct, right information, you can connect to us on these official platforms. So sometimes students come up with saying that somebody told me this is the cutoff, that's why I applied. Somebody told me that this is the date for the interview and I have not received the call letter. So all information, all communication would be going through these official channels only, and it will be through the interaction is going to be with the admission team only, or the student, those who are volunteering to interact with you, or maybe you can always validate information by getting in touch with any of the student, those who are in first year or second year or even alumni. So we will have different occasion where we will make you interact with our existing students or alumni or even faculty members, or all the 4 program chairs who are heading these programs like the PGDM program or international business program. So whatever doubts you have for any of these areas or these courses, regarding the specialization, regarding the summer internship or the short-term projects or industry interaction, or the future after completion of this course. So we have planned a lot of other FB live sessions or webinars through which you will be getting complete information. So stay connected on this platform, and I think you will be getting all the information right from the admission team or from the official channel. So there is one last question which has come at the end. I hope you are being safe around these days. My concern is to know what will be the selection round that must be conducted in the month of December itself, and the exact dates must be appreciated. We will be glad if you can share some good thought about how well to perform in these rounds. And the name of the person is Chandan. Okay, Chandan, I have already spoken about the timeline on which we are going to conduct the first round of the interview process, and thanks for asking us how safe we are around these days. So taking care of the health and the safety issues, we have decided to conduct this first round of interview process online on the Zoom platform, because we understand that as per the guidelines and the current scenario, we should not travel or make our MBA aspirant traveling to our selection centers. So we are going to have the first round of interview process 14th of December onward We will be informing all the shortlisted candidate on the criteria which I have already informed, that they will be getting communication somewhere around 10th or 11th of December regarding their interview time slot and the date, and how all the instructions related to that. So all those things are going to be there. If you are shortlisted, you will be getting the exact date and time and the Zoom link and the passcode. So all those instructions would be there in the call letter. And the selection process is mainly the personal interview and extempore. The personal interview has got weightage of 25 out of the total merit which we are going to prepare, 25%, and extempore is going to be any current affair topic, or it could be abstract, which student would be asked to speak upon for 5 to 8 minutes, and it is for 10 marks. So that is these are the two things which will be there in the selection process over Zoom. Rest of the merit is going to be prepared based on your final performance in, or the results which you are going to update regarding the CAT, ZAT or MAT or CMAT, depending upon different eligibility for different programs. So final merit, the results are going to be declared once these results are declared, and maybe by second week of Feb, we will be declaring the phase 1 final offers. Then Aarti Mittal, what is the weightage for CAT and ZAT? So weightage for CAT and ZAT in a merit, final merit is 35% out of the 100% merit. So 25 for PI, 10 for extempore, 35 for CAT, ZAT or any eligibility national level exam which is not applicable for the sponsored category. And there are other weightages for the regional diversity or the female candidate or economically weaker section or work experience or academic profile. So you can visit our website, and these things I have already communicated in this FB live session. You can revisit this FB live session. Still, if you have any question, you can post as and when we are getting these comments or questions, somebody from the admission team would be responding on that. You can directly write to us at admission@bimtech.ac.in. For getting any update, you can join our social media pages. You can watch latest videos, what the program chairs are speaking about, what students are talking about. So these videos, latest videos are available on our BIMTech YouTube channel. You can get in touch with on LinkedIn page or Instagram, or you can follow the Twitter handle. So all those links are given on the portal bimtech.ac.in, where there is a option on the right hand side, connect with us. Once you click on that, you will find all the links there. You can get in touch with us. So I think we will stop here today. It was nice to get so much of response and queries from all the aspirants. Some of you might have applied to us. Some might be thinking to finally complete the application, and some of you, those who have got their doubts cleared, they would be finally filling up the application. So don't just wait. Tomorrow is going to be the last date for application. You can apply at the earliest possible, and hope to see you and interact with you on this platform. And all the best. Thank you. So I'm signing off now. All the best.